Hello, my name is Adriana Gutierrez, and here we have Maite Villarreal and Jacobo, and our counterpart Lori Herrera is not able to be present right now. But okay, we're gonna conduct our focus group for communication accommodation theory for our class senior capstone. Our first question is, when you first moved here or started coming here, did Americans have problems understanding you at first? If yes, has it gotten better or worse? You can just speak liberally.
Well, I say yes because I'm from Mexico and I took English classes, but it's not the same because here it's like more fluent and like my professor had accent, so it was okay speaking English like at their level. Well, yeah, they knew, but they had accent, right? And when I came here and I tried to speak, it was really hard for me. I think now my English has gotten better a little bit, but at the beginning, this is my 5th year here, and I think I had some trouble for the people understand me.
In my case, I just came in September, and before that, I had never been in an English-speaking country. I just had learned English with French teachers and with TV shows and series. So my English wasn't that fluid at the beginning, so people couldn't hear me, couldn't understand me, and neither could I understand them. And now it's getting slightly better, but still working.
Yeah, for my case, it is hard because Chinese, I come from China, is a totally different language system. You know, we use a different pronunciation, different grammar, totally different. So, but I studied English for almost 10 years in China as a required course in our schools, but it's different. Why it's different? Because we speak everything there and it's not the same. There's some phrases you never get it. There's some way of saying stuff you never say it. You know, I mean, one example, I was asking my friends to help me to buy pants. I was saying, you know, could you take me to buy trousers? And he laughed. He said, what is it, trousers? You mean pants, right? But you know, when I talk to English people, there's nothing wrong with trousers. No. Anyway, so I had a hard time to speak that people understand me. So I have to speak slow. I'm trying to correct my accent, trying to correct my pronunciation. But over years, it's getting better, as you can see. Hopefully, you can understand what I'm saying right now. So,
my first time, I moved here when I was in 8th grade, and I was in middle school, and I just remember that my teachers had trouble understanding me. I wasn't able to express myself as I wanted to. So just most of them, they didn't even try for me to listen more to what I was saying, or maybe as I was explaining myself or wanted something, even though they were my teachers, they didn't try. And it was kind of hard because most of them didn't speak Spanish, and for me to not be able to communicate in that school, it was hard for me.
And for you?
For me, it was difficult for the technical stuff. I was doing the engineering management program, and I could not explain myself as I want to, tell the things as I want in Spanish. I had to think how to tell them, and so they could be able to understand what I want to say, because I didn't know the technical stuff. But after 1 year, I got better, and I think I'm Mexican, it's more easy for the Americans. They used to understand Mexican accent and Mexican words or the Mexican way to say things, so it's not that difficult as it is for my friend here, the Chinese.
Is accent or using different phrases? Like, what examples can you think of?
Yeah, basically more here in Texas with the y'all or I'd, things like the expression like that. We tend to, in my case, I tend to use them more since I live with 3 roommates that are Texans. So I take their accent and their expression.
Okay. Anyone else?
Oh well, some expressions like maybe in Spanish you have some things like say what is that like in like que onda or something like that, and or when you're surprised, I know that you can say like what in the world or stuff like that. Like when I learned English, I didn't knew about that. Like I don't know how to say it. But
Those
like,
phrases.
yeah,
like
phrases
common
that you
phrases.
can refer to things, and now I'm used to it because now I watch series or like well talking with professors and friends that only speak English. I can like use that as a way of communicating because maybe what I learn it's too formal or not the way that you can express things, emotions.
Yeah, as y'all can see, what I'm doing right now, you know, it's a doctor. I've been here for 7 years. Can't skip that.
Okay.
And for me, well, sometimes you don't know the expressions, and when you get here, you start to hear the expressions and hear everything, and then at some point you said it without knowing, like, oh, you hear expression, and then, oh, I like the expression, and then sometimes it's like you just normally say it without thinking. That's what happens to me.
And something that you were saying is that maybe here in South Valley, in South Texas, we don't use them that much because we use Spanish and English. But whenever you watch TV, like a movie or a series, that's when you use those phrases, and then later on you use them as well.
Okay, what is your native language? Well, can we go around and say?
My native language is Chinese.
Yeah, my native language is Spanish.
My native language is French.
My native language is Spanish.
My native language is Spanish.
Have you had anyone from like back in your country, native country, told you that you sound different ever since you're here in the United States?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that when you talk to someone from America, your speech changes? Or that they change their speech to accommodate to you?
My roommate used to say that whenever I talk to someone, he has to tell him to speak slower so that I could understand them. So he helps me by telling people to speak slower so that I could understand them.
I think at the beginning when I came here when I was in high school, my professor, well, I'm all classes in high school were with the ESL professor, like all of them, and he used to speak very slowly so we can understand what he said, because I remember that when I took just one class, it was not ESL, and the professor speaks like super fast, and my mind just like blocked, like I couldn't understand because it was like super fast. So I guess like the people when I started came here, they accommodate like they wait of like the speed of.
Some of my friends do, but some of my friends don't. If my friends don't, I don't talk to them. Then they will ask me, why don't you talk? I said, you guys speak too fast, and I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But think about over years, I learned. I mean, one thing I feel like is for new language, if you can speak it, it pretty much can understand to listen by listening. So I try to improve my speaking so that I understand what they're saying. So I think it goes both ways.
And for me, whenever I get this face of what the fuck, they change the way, like, oh, they speak slowly and they try to say it other ways so I can understand it.
Yeah. And for me, whenever I'm talking to someone that only speaks English, I try to be more clear, like maybe speak louder or more clearly. Yeah. Or sometimes I even practice, like on my head, what am I gonna say?
Do you have any speech patterns that you have at home that you don't have with like other people, like right here?
Yes, I back China. I use something like really special, Chinese specific one. But here, I have to change my mind to another state, like turn the switch off, turn the switch on, speak English.
Yeah, I will say the same because like here we all like the majority speak like Spanish, right? And you can like if you forget some it might sound weird, but when you speak English and you speak Spanish, if you don't remember one word, you use the other one in English because it comes to your mind. But when I'm in Mexico, my mom, my family doesn't know English, and sometimes I try to say, and they're like, what? Like, but it's because you're used to it, like here in the valley. If you don't know something, like if a word doesn't come to you in English or Spanish, you can use the other, like whichever comes to your mind. And in my house, I need to be okay. Only Spanish, no pochismos or anything like that.
Yeah, I will say the same that I try to not say like any English words while I'm speaking Spanish when I'm with my parents, but it hasn't changed a lot for me.
Well, something maybe the one you said by now is that not to use little words like in English that some of my parents would understand. Maybe that.
Okay. This question would be, what slang words do you find yourself using a lot from the English language? Like,
Well, sometimes I use what, like just for whatever.
Or like a what, or like a what, like what,
What?
like with that really strong like what.
I think that was it.
Like for example, no way. It would be for me like, no way.
okay. Well, thank you very much for being part
You
of our
don't want
focus
to hear
group.
Muslim language for me?
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like, what the hell is that? You know, there's a lot more, you know. You have like, what y'all look at, you know? It's just so hard just to learn.
I know I say like a lot of slang, but I can't think of them right now.
Neither.
Like in Spanish or in English?
no, in English.
In English.
Yeah, there are quite a lot. You know, sometimes I say that I will say like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah.
The first time I say "What's up," I look at him up. You know, what is up? You know, that's nothing. You know, up.
Or
you
like,
know.
dude.
Yeah,
dude.
dude, that sucks.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
you're being
Lol,
dude.
lol.
LOL.
Or like, oh my lord. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, there you go. There's what's up, buddy? You know,
Yo.
yo, sup,
Sup.
sup, like that. Hey man, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for being part of our focus group. I hope you guys had fun interacting with people from other places. And this was it. Hope you like it, Wasika.
Thank you. Cut.